Greetings, adventurers, and welcome to V reading the Menhirs Fate Rules in hushed tones because V's just got back from Menhirs Fate, the first episode, and these videos are for reading the rules, so I'm not going to go too deep into it. But, wow, just, you should all definitely book a ticket and get down there. Because this did not disappoint. You can tell by my voice. I don't lose my voice very often anymore. I don't have post-lar blues very often anymore. But both of those things are definitely going on. So, without further ado, I'm sorry for the long wait. Obviously regained a bit of keen, but also I've moved house since. I've renovated in another house. Since my last video. I've had a lot to do in my private life, so apologies for the long wait, but here we go. We're gonna try and finish this. Not all tonight because I'm too fucking tired. But we'll do the normal 5 minutes or maybe 6 because we're now already 1 minute in. So the next chapter was damage and game effects. Damage in Menhirs Fate. In Menhirs Fate, each strike done with a melee weapon or foe key does 1 point of damage. Each attack must have a damage type and may have up to 1 damage effect. An attack can never have more than 1 damage type or effect. So an example, you can have a weapon that allows you to call Fire Crush or Water Rend. You cannot have a sword that does both fire and water damage on the same hit, nor can you have a sword that does both crush and rend. So damage types, there's normal. All weapons in the game do this damage unless specified otherwise. Please note, you do not need to use a vocal for this damage type. Damage type earth. This damage type may affect certain creatures more than others. Please note, unless specified otherwise, this will still only do 1 point of damage. Air. This damage type may affect certain creatures more than others. Please note, unless specified otherwise, this will still only do 1 point of damage. Water. This damage type may affect certain creatures more than others. Please note, unless specified otherwise, this will still only do 1 point of damage. Okay, this is the same for fire and the same for spirit, I think. I'm not going to repeat those. Then damage effects. If a call is used and the target doesn't take the call and doesn't explicitly stop it affecting them, then you don't spend the vigor or focus used to generate the effect. Fast damage effect is Crush. If the character is in heavy armor, they take damage equal to the hit points and enter a critical state. If they aren't in heavy armor, it does 1 point of damage. This call must hit target unless delivered by a ranged spell. Alright, then we have Stun. The character is unable to defend themselves, so shields must fall to the side of the body. Attack or cast spells for 10 seconds. They may move at a walking pace. So it's Stun, they may move at a walking pace, but so not anything more. This call must hit target unless delivered by a ranged spell. Petrify. The character is totally unable to move for 10 seconds. The character can still speak but cannot cast spells. Kind of stuck in this petrified state. This call must hit target unless delivered by a ranged spell. It's good that these all kind of do what they say on the tin, in all fairness. Ensnare. The character is unable to move their legs for 10 seconds. This call may hit the shield or the target unless delivered by a ranged spell. Rend. The character takes damage equal to their hit points and begins their death count and enters a critical state unless they are wearing heavy armor, in which it does 1 point of damage. Note, all arrows and bolts in Menhirs Fate do rend damage. This call must hit target unless delivered by a ranged spell. Burning Taunt. Anger rages through the target. They will charge and attack the caster if possible. If not, then the closest hostile target I can't talk, I swear. If not, then the closest hostile target available. This call must hit target unless delivered by a ranged spell. You must continue to fight and roleplay safely while under the effects of taunt. Then we have stagger. If this hits a character, they are thrown away from the user of the attack 3 large steps, even if you parry it. A character may choose to roleplay more than this effect if they wish. This call may hit the shield or the target unless delivered by a ranged spell. Then we have smite. If this hits the target and not the shield, then they lose all hit points and enter a critical state. This will only work on a target with a corrupted spirit. This call must hit the target unless delivered by a ranged spell. And we now know all about corrupted spirits, because that, I think, was one of the main things I did throughout the weekend, was provide the smoke for the main big corrupted attacks. So smoke. Obliterate. If your character is hit by this, they immediately die with no death count. Oh wow, that's quite harsh. So if your character is hit by obliterate, they immediately die with no death count, with no critical state or terminal state. This is a very rare call. This call must hit target unless delivered by a ranged effect. This call may be gained through very powerful weavings against named foes, and may, on a rare occasion, happen elsewhere in game for exceptional circumstances. But it is a very, 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 there's not that many varies, but I'm telling you, it's a very, very, very rare call. The path to achieving it will not be a simple one. Next, we're not going to read all of them today, is Blight. If this hits target, not the shields, then they lose all hit points and enters a critical state. This will only work on a target with a healthy spirit. This call must hit target unless delivered by a ranged spell. This is an NPC call only, so you must be able to receive, but you don't need to know how to cast it, because it's NPCs only, so that's non-player characters. So that's us as crew, and that's me for today with a croaky voice, and after an amazing weekend at Menhirs Fate. Thank you so much to all the crew that was there, all the players that made it wonderful. The costumes was amazing. The weather was fantastic. That helps. But oh my god, what a setting. How much space. What a wonderful, wonderful vibe. Yeah, you'll definitely see me there again. And I hope to see you there too. Bye bye.